What's going on, Board Wars Nation, and welcome back to another episode of the official Board Wars podcast. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, the awesome, the stupendous, the award-winning JD. Everyone give it up for JD, Captain of the Year.
Thank you.
And but he's not the only person that took some awards home. We had a lot of people show up to the ceremony and take home some of those awesome trophies. And it was an awesome time.
No,
it was a really cool time.
It was a blast. After the little break, unfortunately, Bears weren't able to pull the win, but it was fun to see a team actually get on that stage and celebrate it. Congrats to the Raptors, and we had a lot of new people win awards. It definitely changed up. So excited. It was fun to see.
The awards are going to shift the all-time rankings in the leaderboard. 100%. So JD and I thought that we would just kind of show up, and our first episode back would be very clean and cut. JD and I are going to sit down, and we don't even know how we're going to do this fully. You're going to figure this out. You're going to be on the ground floor for this process. But we're going to figure out the top 70, the top 69 Board Wars players of all time.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is every player who has played a professional game. And next year it's going to be somewhere in the hundreds. So we need to hit it here before it goes top 100. Who are the 69 best players of all time? That is a question we're going to try to figure out, and we're going to try to rank them. But before we do, JD, do we want to talk about the ceremony a little bit? You guys can go watch the ceremony on YouTube, and it was an awesome time. If you weren't there, I'm sorry to tell you, but you are a square. You are a square. And you should go next year. Maybe you should check it out. JD, what were some of the highlights you thought?
No, yeah. I think, first of all, this ceremony of the past, I think this was the best one we've had so far. I think because of the amount of people that came, honestly, my favorite part was just people actually talking about the league more, the community. Like, obviously, we love the game. That's what brought so many people in. But also just talking about just like the actual journey that all these teams has gone on this entire year. Because now the season is now practically almost all year. So you're following a long path. But it was just awesome to hear about what these guys have gone through this past year, even though I haven't seen them a lot of times going off at college. So it was just a great time to get back together and talk to people I haven't really seen in person all year. I haven't really talked to that much. And I just said it was just an awesome time.
It's awesome. It's going to be an awesome summer as, everyone's in town that, grew up here. And, we're just going to be going through the off season, training people up, get ready for the big draft. And Season 4 is going to be very different, obviously. Some highlights for me maybe were the reveal of the Wealthy Waffles, which is a really big deal, and the Cryptic Crows. We've had a couple expansion teams in the past, but never have we had 2 in one season. That is ridiculous. Crazy. How is that going to go? I don't know. The Crows, the Waffles, are they going to be any good? We'll probably talk about that in the future. I don't know the answer to that. It might be kind of hard to do that. But they're led by Mr. Java and Gideon, who a lot of people say are some of the best captains, captain roles there is. We kind of all knew that Mr. Java was stepping up into a captain role, but he's taking on a big challenge here. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that develops. The stepping down of Hodgepodge was huge. There was a musical number that took place.
That was amazing. If you weren't there and you have not seen the stream, go to the very end. Wait till you see Mr. Java go up on the stage and sing a little song. You will be amazed.
It's pretty awesome. It was pretty awesome. I was glad he did that, and it was cool to honor Hodgepodge in that way. We saw Johnny, legendary captain, step down, give the reins to a Calbrus, which is going to be huge. Yeah. He's going to be a big captain and a big influencer on llama culture. And it's going to be interesting to see how the llamas evolve,
Definitely.
They were very, their archetype was very clear in the Board Wars community, the grumpy unks, I guess. But Kyle adds a little bit of whimsy there.
He does, definitely.
And under new management. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe they become a little bit more exciting.
I think so. I'm very excited I think the Llamas. I think that, and with John Mark, it's all these teams they're stepping down and maybe with the Sal's, Gideon's moving, and the Jets, Mitch Java's leaving, but like John Mark's still on that team, and then you have Kyle's new. So I think the Llamas are looking great and be newly juvenated coming to season 4.
Well, and Johnny is one of the best players of all time, as we're going to see here in a minute. And so keeping him on retainer is huge for the org.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kyle isn't just going to be stepping into this new role. He's going to be doing it with the assistance of Johnny, which you have experienced. Like, that's very good company to be in.
Yeah, one of the
when
best
you're learning
guys
how to be a leader.
Yep, 100%.
Mm-hmm. And Slushy is now a captain. That is huge.
Mm-hmm.
That is massive. He is going to be a very exciting, spicy addition to the captain roster. That's going to be sick. Be interesting to see how that transpires with the new Salamanders. Maybe they will become more evil. Maybe they will become less evil.
Does Gideon leaving? That's difficult. Gideon leaving, Slushy going up. I don't know. I don't know what the cell is going to look like. I'm intrigued.
I don't know if this was on purpose, but Gideon's logo makes him look like the bad guys, which I think might be.
I think that was on purpose. I think Gideon's trying to swing that way right now.
he relishes in the role. You know, it's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And the Waffles just looked like some happy-go-lucky dudes. But the money entrance was kind of insane.
That was a tough entrance. I think the team's fit for Mr. Java and Gideon. They kind of just it fits them as a player and a person in the league. I love it.
I think so too. There were also some really good photos from that night. Fun fact, if you want to click in the link in the description box down below, Andrew Wood, our friend who's on the Jelly Jets, was taking photos all night. And he got some banger photos. It was actually really good. I gotta check these out. He did a fantastic job. Some of these pics are really iconic that we can use here on the pod. We can use a lot of places. So, you know, put it up on your wall. We got this really cool shot with the Raptor team with their trophy. But what made me think of it was he got a really cool one with Mr. Java with the money gun on stage like this.
I don't think I've seen that yet. I got to see that.
It was pretty tough. Check the link in the description box down below and say thank you to Andrew Wood if you see him in life. But AVFY, we appreciate you. But we could just get straight into our list, JD. Going into the segment, JD, like you and I separately figured out our lists 1 through 30, right? Because we really thought we were going to disagree 1 through 30. But 31 through 69, we actually came together to figure out, and we kind of agree on that. So I think we should start, JD, by debating and revealing our top 30 list, because we haven't even shared that with each other.
We have not. I haven't talked about it.
And after we kind of go through that, we can go through we can just join together and announce 31 through 69. But I want to let you know about my process going into this, JD.
Okay.
Because you in the audience, you at home, are about to be blessed with the truth. Okay?
Whoa.
Going into this, I was prepping, I was looking at the stats. Who are the top 30, right? What order? And I covered the names. And I was like, listen, I don't want any of these narratives. I don't want any of the, he's the GOAT, this person, that person. I want the truth, right? What does the truth say? And I looked at the stats. I looked at the facts, right? And then there were some close ones. And I looked at the names. I was like, okay, what's the context that can break up these contestants? But I'll tell you what, JD, I believe my list is the list.
Really?
And I'm sure you believe your list is the list too. I believe my list is the list, and I don't disagree with any of the placements. I feel strongly about all of these.
All right, we're about to see how controversial this is. You're building this up here. I'm a little scared what's about to happen.
I'm just saying, man. Like I don't know. Some of these are a little surprising, but it's the truth, man. It's the truth.
Okay. All right.
We just gotta call it like we see it. You know, that's our job.
I'm ready for it. That's exactly what I'm trying to do right now.
Who's your number one?
My number one, the GOAT of Board Wars, Dr. Luke.
I agree. I agree.
It's hard to argue against the 8 wins, the playoff wins. It's just you can't really go against Lacey Cup, Captain of the Year.
It's hard to.
Yeah.
2 awards, 3 All-Stars, been an All-Star every year, 8 wins, 2 playoff wins. Why is the GOAT, baby?
Mm-hmm.
It's why is the GOAT. Now, between second and third place was actually really difficult for me. Because there are 2 guys. One of them has a chip. One of them doesn't have a chip, but he has the most awards ever. 3 awards. One of them has 3 All-Stars. One of them has 2. They both have 5 wins. But what really did it for me was the fact that one of these players has the most ever playoff wins. And that's what pushed him ahead for me. So at number 2, I have the Legend Killer Slushy. But I think it's close between him and my number 3 spot, JD.
Thank you. Yeah, Gus, I agree. I think it's really close. I think especially with, after this award, this one and this one, there's a lot of them, but I think the determining factor, because the stats are very close, the wins are very close. I think the determining factor is that third playoff win in that Lacey Cup, I think puts them right over the edge. I think the awards and the wins are very, very similar, but that little determining factor, I think, which is why I have Slushy at 2 and myself at 3.
Well, and just to your credit, you have the most awards out of anybody in the league. You've won an award every single season, which to me makes up for the fact that you don't have 3 All-Stars. But that makes you, one of the most consistently awarded players of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, you can only win 1 award every season. So it's I mean, you've done that so far, which is pretty awesome. But at number 4, who do you have? This might be where it starts to get interesting.
This could be. At number 4, I have Captain the Cuties, Caleb Ward.
Okay. I also have Captain of the Cuties, Caleb Ward. Why?
Number 4, Caleb Ward. He now has that playoff win. He now got that award. I know I had him higher up previously. I think it was last year when we did the ranking, or maybe it was earlier this year, and I had him a lot higher than you, and I think what he was missing was that award, that playoff win, and he kind of got those exact things. He now has those 5 wins. He has the playoff win. He still has the Lacey Cup. He was the Offensive Player of the Year. He was a 99 overall. I think he had one of the greatest seasons of all time, and I think it pushes him into that 4th place spot.
I completely agree. He is one of, I think, 4 players that I would say has an entirely complete resume. Maybe 5. Maybe 5 players have a completely complete resume in the sense that they have a chip, they have an award, they have an All-Star, they have a win, and they have a playoff win. That is a complete resume. There's no weakness. Caleb Ward not only has a completely complete resume, he's one of the only 99 overall players of all time. No one else has done, only a few other people have achieved that. He finally has his playoff win. He finally has his award. And of course, we all know the Cuties were, and maybe in the hearts of some, are still on top. So, so he's got that Legacy Cup that we all are forced to remember forever.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But yeah, that's number 4. Maybe this is where it starts to get controversial, but I could see the controversy starting potentially after this. I think at number 5 is the rising star Enigma. That's who I've got at number 5. He's got that MVP. He's got that championship. He's got that playoff win. He is one of the other 5 people. To me, it's Dr. Luke, Slushy, Caleb Ward, Enigma, and someone we haven't talked about yet that have that complete resume. He is one of these people now. The issue being he doesn't have longevity, right? He is a rising star. He's kind of a recent addition to all of these things. And the first year, even though he won a game, he wasn't an all-star season 2. So he hasn't had a 100% completion rate like some of these other guys, and that wouldn't have been an issue if maybe he was around since season 1. But since he's so recent, he's really had one season that we're like, this is a legendary season. And I don't know if we can put him higher than number 5 because of that, but his accolades are reaching pretty high. Do you agree with number 5?
I do. I think we've been doing this podcast for a while, and I think we're starting to get in the same wavelength here. I am at 5. I think 4-3 start to his career. That's just insane. He added the MVP. He added the playoff. It's one of the hottest starts to a career I think we've seen, other than maybe Drew and Dr. Luke season 1. But he's off to a insane start, and I think 5 is a perfect spot for him, just because he's only played now 2 seasons. But I mean, if he had the extra season, he could have been even higher with another win.
Great MVP speech too, might I add.
Mhm.
Great MVP speech. You would know something about that.
I would.
Who's at number 6 for you?
At number 6. Now, this is where I think it started. I think I had to start thinking about it a little bit more. Because I feel like there's a couple guys you could slot in there. But for me, at number 6, I have a guy 4-5 record with a playoff win, with a defensive player of the year, captain of the Barbecue Beavers, Drew Joggers. I have Drew at number 6. He has 4 wins. He has a 4-5 record, one of the best records you can find. He's a 2 APF. And I think just what sets him apart, I think the other players, is his domination in his games, the infinite KD ratio games, his playoff games. I think there's so many times when he won, it wasn't just like a normal game. And I think just in those games, he proved how much better he was than his competition.
You know what? I don't even hate that. I disagree from a purely legacy perspective. Like, I think if we're talking about skill, raw skill, Drew's probably at the top of the list. He's as good as it gets. But I don't think he has a better legacy currently.
First disagreement.
Than the man himself, Alex Bruns. I don't think he does. Alex Bruns is the 5th and final player that I would consider has that complete resume. And Drew doesn't have that yet. Here's the thing about Drew. Drew has only led his team to the playoffs 1 time, and he got smoked out by the Los Cuties. That Cuties charge was led by Alex Bruns, the MVP. And I get DPOY is a really cool award. That's really high. I really don't think you're far off the mark here. Drew is very soon up on my list. But Alex Bruns has that MVP. He's got that championship, which Drew hasn't been able to do. They're tied at 1 playoff win. And, even though Alex Bruns has played less games, he only has 1 less win than Drew does. So I think the championship more than makes up for that. They've been nominated for the same amount of awards, which has been 3. Drew has had 2 All-Stars compared to Alex's 1. But again, I think Alex actually contributing to winning a Legacy Cup means more than a playoff win, that didn't lead to a cup, or a Legacy Cup, but you didn't actually win any of your team's games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like Slushy, he's so legendary because he helped them win that cup. And if you think about it, there are really only 5 players in history that have contributed to a cup: Straw, Enigma, Slushy, Luke, and Alex. Alex is that guy. He's got the MVP, and he's my number 6.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind it. I think with the MVP and the Lace Cup, which Drew doesn't have, which I think is kind of what he's missing. I just think I think Alex, his big season, his breaking point was season 1, 2-0, 9 overall, got the Lacey Cup. But right along with that, Drew is also a 91, 3-1, which you could argue is maybe even more impressive. Drew also, they both had a playoff win. They both contribute to their team just as much. Drew arguably even more. Just Drew team wasn't able to pull it together. And obviously that's where I think where the difference is, what you're saying is where that Legacy Cup is, where his production actually led to the final product while Drew's did not. And I can see that. Yeah. But I think
it's fair to have them neck and neck. I've got Drew at number 7. Obviously, he peaks at that incredible 99 overall season, like you were saying, one of the best seasons you could have. He just doesn't have the longevity, which also Alex is kind of weak in that way, but he also doesn't have the cup. And, as a captain who has only led his team to the playoffs once, he kind of carried that process. He carried and won that playoff game, but it wasn't able to get done at the end of the day. So, I think having Alex and Drew interchangeable, I'm not going to fight you on that too much, but he's
Yeah.
my number 7 personally.
I get. Yeah, in my 7 right there, and then I have Alex Brun. So it sounds like we just have them. And that was the ones I was thinking over a lot on, kind of just interchangeably. I was like 3-1 defense player, MVP, Lacey Cup. I think Drew being a captain, I think he has a lot of Lacey with that, but I think it's just like where you're valuing that Lacey Cup and that taking it final to the final step. Because I mean, I think we even have players up here. I guess I would be the only player up here without a Lacey Cup.
Yeah, but you're the most awarded player of all time.
Yeah, well, I think that's the difference. And I guess Drew with only the one award. Same with Alex though. I think it's really close between those guys.
I do too. This might be where it gets insane. Who is your number 8?
At number 8, I have captain of the new Cryptic Crows, Gideon.
Okay.
I have Gideon.
Okay.
The reason I have Gideon is because he is now he's now as 4, I think he's 4 and 5, same as Drew. He has a Lacey Cup, a captain of the year. I think that combination is only Dr. Luke captain of the year and Lacey Cup in that same year. I think it's a very impressive resume, and I think he was leader of that Sally's team. I have him at that spot. Do you disagree?
I do disagree. And I don't know if the Border Wars community is ready to hear this. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn or out of line. But listen, we got to call a spade a spade. We got to look at the facts here, right?
Okay.
The 8th best player of all time really is Brent Ritter. He is truly the 8th best player of all time. And I know. There's the great side. Brent Ritter has never not been an all-star.
Mm-hmm.
Never. That's never happened. You've never woken up and breathed air in a world where Brent Ritter wasn't in the league and an all-star. Right? He's done it every time. His one shot he got in a playoff game, what did he do? He took it home, baby. He won. He did it. He's got the award. He's got 2 all-stars. He has 3 wins compared to Gideon's 4. And by the way, he did that in only 2 seasons. He didn't even have a 3rd season to try to get some wins here. And I know what you're thinking. You know, Gideon is so huge. He's probably the best captain there is, right? Very, very high legacy for other things, but we're looking as players, right? And even though he does have that championship, his resume is incomplete. Why? He doesn't have a playoff win. His resume is incomplete. He's got the chip, and I understand he might have contributed to that as a captain, but as a player, he didn't even get a game in that championship run. He didn't even show up for the championship run as a player. How are we going to put him? Brent Ritter is undefeated in the playoffs. This kid has never lost. He was with me. I get it. If you want to write off, whatever. He was an all-star without me too. This kid is legit. This kid can do it. And I think his resume is better than Gideon's. He's been around for less time, and I think that makes it even more impressive. Because he's got 1 less win, 1 playoff win, same amount of awards, and he's won an all-star every year. I don't know. This is how I feel, JD. He's never not done it. And you know what? At this trajectory, he's going to have 43 all-stars by the time season 44 comes around. He's never not done it. Can he not do it? I don't know. I mean, I'll believe it when I see it.
I understand. I think Brent sometimes in his Lake Talks maybe slept on a little bit. I know when we previous did it, I had him maybe a little lower than he should have been. But I still think Gideon's above him. I think we were just talking about it between Alex and Drew, where, Drew, he got that playoff win, wasn't able to secure that Lacey Cup, and Alex did. And I think that's the difference is they both were in that season. Gideon, he was able to secure that Lacey Cup. He won the captain year, which I think is more impressive than Rookie of the Year. He has an extra win. And I know, I guess the one hindrance is without that playoff win, but it's also when you he's only played one. It's not like he's just loses in the playoffs. He played one. It was a box man win, controversial. I think the whole is marginal when you won the Lacey Cup, when you were that captain of the year, when you have more wins, when you have just as many all-stars. I don't know. I understand Brent. He was all-stars both year. The stats are amazing.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What is the best offensive season of all time? Caleb Ward, maybe?
In between Caleb Ward season 3 and Brent Ritter season 2.
And we would say that's a legendary feat, right?
Yeah.
First of all, I would argue Gideon as a player has not had a legendary feat. Potentially maybe only his Dragon Ball win. But he hasn't strung together a season that I would deem as legendary. Like, he had a pretty good year this year. He has been the model of consistency, right? But Brent has
like a 97.
Too. He's been the model of consistency. But so is Brent. Let me tell you what. Caleb Ward this season, one of the best offensive seasons of all time, 99 rated season. In fact, let's look at all 3 99 rated seasons. These are the 3 best offensive seasons, potentially seasons in general. Okay. 99 overall, Alex Bruns, 9 kills per game. Dr. Luke, 99, 8 kills per game. This up year, Caleb Ward, 99, 7.8. Do you know who the only player that is in that range? Let's forget about the 1-game seasons, right? Those are a little unfair because then Parker's somewhere up there. 9, 8, 7.8. Where is Brent Ritter? 9, 8, 7.8. Brent Ritter, 10.6. 10.6. That is the best offensive season of all time. Bar none. That is the most kills per game. 10.6 sustained in 3 games, one of them being a playoff game. A 1.6 APF. That mirrors Dr. Luke's APF during his 99 season when he was 4-1. And then let's look at damage per game. We thought Caleb Ward had an insane offensive season, right? 822 damage per game. Brett had 815. 7 less. If Brett got that extra game, he might have the damage record right now, man. I'm just saying, these are legendary numbers. That season 2 Brent season, I mean, if you look at it statistically, that could be one of, if not the best seasons of all time. It's entirely possible, right? And this next season, he got put on a Beaver team that had no shot. He won a game with going from Gus to nobody, still won a game, and almost led the Beavers to the playoffs. I'm just saying, this guy's legendary. We got to think about it that way. I don't think Gideon's done something like that. I don't blame him. That's one of the best seasons of all time.
I'm not disagreeing that season 2 was one of the better seasons. I don't even think it was one of the best seasons. I mean, we saw at least in the voting in season 2 where we had Dr. Luke, myself, and Slushy rated as better season than him. So even in that season, I know stats are very high, but I think even looking at game to game, he was even ranked, you could even say 4th that season.
Sure.
Dr. Luke won Offensive Player of the Year over him. Mm-hmm. I won MVP over him. Yeah. And Slushy was 2nd in voting as well. And that's not disregarding even his season was still statistically, offensively, one of the best. I think we saw some of the drop off season 3, and I think Gideon has sustained it and even improved, I guess, even his player case even more upcoming. Season 1, season 2, Captain Year 1, let's see up. Season 3 then became that player, 97, I believe, overall, 2 wins. I think it's just hard to argue with consistency plus a Legacy Cup versus great season 2, no Legacy Cup, Rookie of the Year. I just think Gideon has more impressive.
Well, you're forgetting season 3. You're just completely he was an all-star this year.
That's true.
Are we just ignoring that? Gideon
consistent. Also, though.
Gideon's consistent. No, I agree. Gideon's great consistently. But so is Brent. But his consistency has been I think, at a higher level than Gideon's has. Like, he won one game season 1. It was kind of, he was fine. He won one game season 2. It was good. Brent had this insane season. And I hear what you're saying. Rating-wise, it wasn't as good as yours or Slushy's. But if we look purely statistically at the level of offensive output, that is the most offensive season of all time. I don't know how this man's didn't win Offensive Player of the Year. The GOAT took that instead. It's probably because he had 4 wins. But
probably.
But like, that is one of the best offensive seasons of all time. And I think the player with, to me, statistically, one of, if not the best, again, let's forget wins for a second, statistical seasons ever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that guy's got to go number 8. And I don't even disagree with the Gideon. At my 9 spot, I do have Gideon. Because he has that longevity, but to me, he doesn't have those same peaks. He doesn't. Okay. He has the Legacy Cup, but again, he didn't contribute in that playoff run as a player. Mm-hmm. So I think to say he's one of these top players that can lead you to a championship is a little disingenuous. I think he's more of a captain role, right? Brent Ritter, on the other hand, actually went into the playoffs and won. And he's never lost in the playoffs. We never even gave him a second shot because that Dragon team was so tight-knit and, well-stitched, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you know what? So I don't think that's ridiculous. But I do think you got to give him his flowers. And if he's not number 8 for you, or number 9, I guess, I'm gonna throw a tantrum.
Brent is not my number 9.
What?
I have him. Brent's coming up, but he's not my number 9. I have one more guy ahead of him.
Who could this possibly be?
I have Goober above him.
Oh,
I have Goober
what?
above him. 3-0 regular season, Defensive Player of the Year, has a Legacy Cup. I think that career is more impressive than Brent's. Just above. But I think the award is more impressive. He has the Legacy Cup. Brent does not. He's won 3-0. 3-0 start the season.
Why is Gideon better than Goober?
Why is Gideon higher than Goober?
Why is Gideon higher than Goober? Yeah, what's the reason?
All right, this is the reason. Gideon has won in every single season, more consistent.
He's won in all of his seasons. He's more consistent. I like that.
Captain of the Year.
Okay, he's won an award.
I think those just in general puts him right above
those just in general.
Yeah, because
Brent has done the same thing.
He has not won a Legacy Cup or Captain of the Year.
He's won every season, and he's won an award.
His award is way different. His award is Rookie of the Year. That's completely different than Captain of the Year or Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, you're right. Captain of the Year isn't based on your playing skill at all. Rookie of the Year is. I'm just saying, like they're both awards. You could say one of them you like better than the other. If we're talking about playing, I would actually say Rookie of the Year matters more as a player. Being a captain is kind of about coaching. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I don't think you can split it up that way. The only award I would say, this doesn't affect his legacy as much, honestly, is the Hodgepodge Award. But we saw the second highest rated player in the league this year, Piano Man, win MIP. Is MIP some bummy award now? No, that's a tough award to get. And I think
agree.
That affects your legacy highly. I think Brent Ritter has had the same arguments for being above Goober that Gideon does. He's literally never not been an all-star. 2 people, I think, can say that. Maybe 3, maybe 4. Because Dr. Luke, Slushy, Gideon, and Brent. Maybe discounting the rookies, because that's a little unfair.
Yeah, at least 2 seasons.
Actually, there's one more guy I can think of, but that's 5 players in the history of Board Wars. And Brent is one of those guys. He's got the consistency. And you know what else he has? You know what else he isn't? He's not a playoff choker. That hurts Goober's legacy. He's a D1 choker.
I just don't think. I think before we even talk about Goober, I think we keep talking about the awards, and we're talking about captain. We're talking about the awards matter, and I feel like you keep talking about Captain of the Year and then disregarding it for their legacy at all.
No,
Like Captain of the Year
it
is,
affects their legacy, I think.
but
I
it
think
seems like
does.
it seems like you're weighing it not as much when it is arguably a top 2, top 3 award. Like we ranked the awards when we named them. We had it at number 2. I
Uh-huh.
think that affects your legacy definitely more than Rookie of the Year. I don't think, and
I
that's
don't
what you were
know.
saying. I feel like that's true.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is kind of true, but if we're talking about their legacy as a player, like I think
I think
you
we're talking
could.
about their legacy as a whole, though. I feel like
Well, if it's their legacy as a whole, then I should be number one. Why am I not number one? It's because
I don't
I'm
know about that.
playing. It's because I'm playing the game. And Captain of the Year, it's just not an award you get by playing the game. I'm not discounting it. I think it's disingenuous to say that
Then how are you
Captain of the
factoring
Year.
it in then?
I'm counting it like I count Captain of the Year, Offense Player of the Year, Defense Player of the Year, MVP, MIP, and Rookie of the Year. They're all the same for me.
But they're not though.
Well, MVP maybe is the best.
Okay.
MVP is maybe here, and then those other awards I listed are probably here. But I don't think they're that different.
Okay.
I can concede maybe a little bit and be like, okay, I would value that a little bit more. But I think to say that because Gideon has a Captain of the Year and not a Rookie of the Year, I think that is a bogus argument for why. I think him and Brent have the same credentials across the board to me. I think they've got the same credentials across the board. Because
other
the
than a
difference
Legacy Cup and an extra win.
Other than a Legacy Cup versus, by the way, a playoff win. So a Legacy Cup when he didn't even get a game versus actually a playoff win. I don't know.
I just feel like it's disregard, and I think it just comes down to what exactly we're defining as legacy. Because I think when you sign just as a player, getting to play that, but I think we've argued this quite a bit over the podcast, whether how Gideon's legacy was affected by not playing that game and getting that Legacy Cup. I think we've clearly said that. I think I regard that as a lot higher than you do.
No way. He didn't show up.
I just feel like he showed up.
How are we going to put Goober above Brent when he's 0-5 in the playoffs now? Yeah, he's 0-5.
I think his 3-2 and Defensive Player of the Year I think was just as impressive.
Would you rather have
Brent's
a player
Rookie of the Year
that
season
can't win in the playoffs, or that is literally undefeated in the playoffs?
It's one game.
But like these playoff wins are really important for your legacy talks. Only how many players have actually won a playoff game? Let's see.
1, 2,
10.
3, 4, 5, 10.
10 players in the history of the league has won a playoff game. Gideon and Goober are not one of them. I think they make up for it in other ways, but the fact of the matter is, Brent only has one less win. He has the same amount of awards. He just doesn't have that cup. But I question how much they affected that cup.
I think that's.
But does that not even at least balance out with the fact that they don't have playoff wins?
I think maybe Goober. I think Goober's a lot closer, which is why Goober's under Gideon. I think Gideon has a little bit more of his case for that Legacy Cup win, and he has at least win every season plus the 2 with the 90, 96, 97 last season.
Goober has been in the league for 3 years and he has 1 All-Star. And we're taking him over a guy who's never not been an All-Star? Never? He's never not done it. Goober's not done it 2 of his 3 years. He doesn't. I know,
and then we saw him this year, Defensive Player of the Year, start off 3-0, and I know he lost in the playoffs. I know he didn't win any of the playoff games, but
you know what? I'll give you Gideon. I'll make Gideon my number 8 right now. But there is no way that Brent is lower than Goober.
I can understand. I think that I guess the determining factor would be Goober's no playoff wins. It's not,
and only 1 All-Star in 3 years.
That's true. I just think a season 3 season was one of the. He started off 3, and I think that's a crazy regular season and the way he won those games. I think was arguably even more President Brent's 2-1. And that is kind of disregarding then his 2 playoff losses after that. I can give you Brent over.
I think it's a fair
Goob.
compromise. I think that's a fair compromise.
I think it's fair. I'm not going to argue with that.
That's a fair compromise. And for the record, at number 10, I had Goober.
Okay.
At number 10, I had Goober. I think he's great, but my whole thing is he lacks the playoff success.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how high we can even put a player that just, like, the regular season matters to get you into the playoffs. And like, how far you take that idea is kind of up to you, right? I think there's a balance, like there is all of these things. But, like, I don't know if like he is I think the second player on this list other than Gideon, right? To not have a playoff win. All these other guys have done it. It's so hard for me to put these guys over a guy that has gone to the playoffs and done it. And it helps that they have a legacy cup, but because Slushy has carried the Salamanders through this legacy cup, I struggle to give true champions credit to anybody not named Slushy. I struggle. And I think it helps them. I don't think it hurts their legacy at all, like having a cup, that is. But, like, it's just different. It's different from being a guy like an Enigma or Straw, right? It's different from being a guy like Alex Brun. And I don't know. I think the fact of the matter is Goober has had one amazing season. Mm-hmm. And you're right. That season was amazing. One of the best seasons we've ever seen. I think you're right. But his longevity is completely in the toilet. And he's never won a playoff game. So, like, how high can that player go? I don't think he can go higher than 10. That's what I think. But who's your 11?
My 11, I think most slept on player. Someone with some of the most award nominations. Previous captain of the Mama Llamas, John Mark.
Me too.
That is, I'm happy to hear that. I think John Mark has been not snubbed, but second of deserving of many, many awards throughout his career. He's led his team to the playoffs twice. He has a 4-8 career. He has a playoff win. The only thing he does not have is a legacy cup, you would say. And he did have a bad slump in season 2. I think this last season was a big turnaround for him. 2 wins. And I think he's kind of that last guy with that amount of wins on this list.
I mean, you said it yourself. He's been nominated for 4 awards now. Mm-hmm. He has 2 All-Stars, which is pretty consistent, in 3 years. 4 wins, one of them being a playoff win. And that one playoff win was a lot, too. That was more than Dr. Luke. The only things that guys like Goober and Gideon have over him is the fact that they've got that award, the fact that they've got the cup. And, the only thing that Brent has over him is the award and the consistency, right? Yeah. And, Johnny did have one down year, but, I mean, he completely deserves, I think, the number 11 spot. And I'm glad we agree on that because he is so underrated in the career talks. And you know what? I think he's going to have another good season, and I think there's a chance we have him in the 6-7 range after this next year. That's what I think.
I believe. I'm glad we agree on that. That was 11, right?
Yeah, it was 11.
Okay.
This is where it could get interesting.
Yeah, they start to get real close.
It's already gotten interesting, by the way.
It has.
Brent, wait, you haven't said Brent yet.
No, I did. I had him at 10? Yeah. I had him. Okay. I had Gideon, Goober, him, and then I agreed to put him above Goob.
Okay.
I think we agreed 9.
We have a consolidated, consistent list. Yeah, we put Brent at 9. We put Gideon at 8. Goober at 10.
10. John Mark at 11. And at 12, I have Mr. Consistency himself, Hodgepodge, previous captain of the Jelly Jets. 3 wins. He's 3-4. He's won every single one of the seasons. 2.3 APF. I think he's the model of get in the season, win a game, produce for your team. Unfortunately, the Jets have never really been that team to ever make the playoffs. But I think Hodgepodge has always produced efficiently for that team, even though they haven't made it.
I think I think that's fair. I don't have Hodgepodge that high.
Okay.
My next guy is a guy that is also a rising star, but he just got an award that really legitimized himself, and he just had one of the highest rated seasons of all time.
Okay.
I got Piano Man. I got Piano Man. Sing us a song, you're the Piano Man. I think Piano Man deserves to be in a spot like this after winning that award. I think the fact of the matter is with Hodgepodge is he's been around the block. He's been like you were saying, him and Gideon might be just the model of consistency. The difference with Gideon is, he's been more decorated from the award and from the cup. Hodgepodge really lacks in 3 departments.
Okay.
No cup, no award, and even more atrocious than no cup, never even sniffing the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
That is brutal. That is brutal for the legacy talks. And I'm a big Hodgepodge sympathizer. But Piano Man this season, having that 2-win season, Hodgepodge has never had a 2-win season. He's trickled his wins over the years, and I think that's great. Piano Man came in strong this year, got that big 2-win burst. And this is kind of an appeal to the goober, I guess, argument that you could have is he had a really good year this year. He won an award. He did the thing. And Hodgepodge just, to me, has never demonstrated that he's the player that can make a splash like that. He's the epitome of a player that does like everything he needs to be still in these talks, but it's just never been enough. Never been enough to have a legacy 2-win season. Never enough to be an award winner. Never enough to get his team to the promised land. He was getting right there. He's always gotten there, but he's never taken that extra step. Piano Man in his second ever year took a step in the biggest way that I think you can and was decorated with the MIP award for that insane improvement in his skill. And I think demonstrating that he can do that over Hodgepodge, that he can win awards, that, he can do these things, I think is really great. They're tied at 1 All-Star, each of them. And in the 2 short years that Piano Man has been in the league, he has more finalists for awards or more nominees for awards than Hodgepodge does. So it's not even just that he's won more awards, it's that he's been in the talks for more awards too. He was an MVP candidate this year. Which is, by the way, in my opinion, I think one of the hardest years to win MVP.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I think the argument for Piano Man is as well.
Yeah, I think it's close. I think we're kind of talking about like the holes in like I guess your careers, and as you're starting to get down the line, you start getting more holes, obviously, as you're going down the Lacey talk. I think what they're both missing is that Lacey Cup and those playoff wins. And obviously what you said is Hodgepodge missing that award, that season 3. And I think we're arguing it the opposite a little bit earlier, where it was more like consistency versus the one season. And I don't know. I think Hodgepodge as a whole through 3 seasons, since he's played 3 seasons, since he's won at least a game. The only players to do that are Luke, Slushy. Is that the only players to win a game in all 3 seasons? Gideon
or not Drew Gideon, yeah, Gideon.
Luke Slushy Gideon.
Yeah, I think
that's a club to be in right there. And I know he doesn't have the more than one win, the awards, which is why he's lower down. But I can see having
what's the saying? Always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how high I can put the bridesmaid. I don't know.
I understand because I have Piano Man right under him.
Okay. Okay. Oh, this might be a little. Oh, shoot. Oh no. I've got a little bit of a gap before I get to Hodgepodge. Right?
Oh man.
I don't know how
doing
high I can
Hodgepodge
put the bride.
like that. Really,
I love
even with
Hodgepodge.
I know he doesn't have the high.
He's had the consistencies, but here's the thing. He has literally had the bare minimum for consistency to almost even count. Like he's only had 1 All-Star.
Yeah, but it's not like he also what was this? He was an 89. He missed it by this much.
Yeah, but like he always misses it. That's the thing. Whether it's a All-Star, whether it's the playoffs, whether it's an award, he always just misses the mark. He does just enough to kind of get up there, but not enough to actually seize control. If there's a young player who I think has demonstrated that ability to reach higher heights, I think they have to be above Hodgepodge, such as my number 13, his teammate, now captain of the Jelly Jets, Python. In his first year, his only year, rising the ranks, winning an award, 2 playoff wins, and by the way, with Python, the closest they've ever gotten to that playoff status. I think he's going to turn the Jelly Jets around, and I think already he has 1 less win than Hodgepodge, sure, but Hodgepodge has been around for a while, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think already they have the same amount of All-Stars. Python has a 2-win season, which Hodgepodge has never been able to do. And I think having that 2-win season to me is more impressive than being in the kind of high 80s, not an all-star, not really actually making this push. And I think that's more impressive. I think it's even more impressive that it's only been 1 season we've seen him in the league. And he's kind of got the Brent Ritter saying, which is really silly, actually, because obviously they're not always going to be all-stars. But like, I've never seen him not be an all-star. So I can't be like, oh, I don't know if this is going to happen. And it'd be one thing if he won 1 game and was Rookie of the Year. It's another if he wins 2. He's the only rookie to win 2 games. The only Jelly Jet in history to win 2 games. I think that Jelly Jet, even though he's younger, is the better all-time player than the one who's been around, but has never actually gotten his team there. You know what I mean? He's never actually won an award. I'd take Python over Hodgepodge as well. Now, I think the argument between Python and Piano Man, they both really emerged this season. And while Python technically has consistency since he's a rookie, I think you have to kind of look at that a little bit differently just because he's a rookie. And Python and Piano Man in this season 3, where they've both been really solid, has reached higher highs than Python has rating-wise. They both won awards. I think they're neck and neck. But I've got Piano Man at 12, Python at 13. And I don't have Hodgepodge at 14 either.
Okay. I have Python quite a bit lower.
Really?
I do.
What for?
I think, well, he's not my next guy is Indiana Jones. That's who I have as my next under Hodgepodge.
He is your
My
13?
Yes.
Okay. I don't hate that because he's my 14.
Okay. And I think just going back to the consistency over the 2 seasons, which I think that's where you see my list, as it gets to the bottom list, it's the pattern is more consistency when I was debating over these guys. I think Ian both wins as a captain. I think it's right above. Well, Python I have a couple more guys above him, but yeah, I have him right under Hodgepodge. I think Hodgepodge is the consistency guy, and then Ian only 2 seasons doing the same thing, just with 1 less season, and he's made the playoffs. So I have him right there.
He has, and I agree. I think Ian, being 1 win in every season, being an all-star in every season is really impressive. To me, the difference between him and Python and Piano Man was he just didn't have the awards, which Python and Piano Man did have. Ian was up there for Rookie of the Year and unfortunately couldn't come home with it. He's been nominated for 4 awards.
4, really?
Which
That's
is right
crazy.
up there with Johnny, by the way, for the most. Actually, technically, you and Slushy have the most, but 3rd place is, John Mark, who has no wins, Ian, who has no wins, and Dr. Luke, who has 2.
Wow.
So unlucky stuff, right? Unlucky stuff. But yeah, no, he's been right up in there, and I would rather have Ian than Hodgepodge too. I mean, Ian has been in the league less time, and he already has more All-Stars. He's already been to the playoffs.
Yeah, but I feel like they both have. Saying it wrong. He has a win in each of those seasons.
Ian does, yeah.
Hodgepodge has done that in 3 seasons. I think they're
but he
very.
doesn't have an all-star though. He only has 1.
I think it's very similar. I think if you look at the stat, I think it's very close. you both have one win. I think it's a very similar production. Whether you killed 2 or 3 more people, you still got the win for your team. I think one win is just as beneficial as another one, and especially when it's across 3 versus 2. I think that's what Ian has. That's what kind of is riding on their career. And I think Hodgepodge has that extra season to go off of.
I don't know. I think the category between those guys are very different. I get what you're saying with a win being a win, but I think it's clear that Hodgepodge has been in a lower tax bracket almost his whole career than Ian has. Ian was considered one of the best players in season 2. He was like a 96 overall.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think the stats do matter, because the stats isn't just, you know, how many kills do you get? It's also like, do you place very high?
Yeah.
You know, and Ian, I think, has demonstrated the ability to do that. Yeah, I mean, he was a 94 overall. He appeared in 2 playoff games. We put him in our finals game above Brent Ritter.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we thought Ian had the best chance of winning. You know, he was one of our premier guys. But yeah, I'd rather take 2 All-Stars in 2 years over 3 wins in 3 years, but 1 All-Star in 3 years. That's what I'd rather have.
I just think we're talking about like the All-Stars. I know he's not an All-Star. He would say he was an All-Star that season, and then he was an 89, missed it by 1 overall. An 89 again, missed by 1 overall. If he had like 1 or 2 more kills during his game, he would have had 3 also. Like, he's missing it by this much.
Your argument for why he should be higher than Ian is if he did something.
But it's the over. But we're talking about it's the difference from an 89 and what was Ian this year?
I don't know, actually. Let's see if you're cooking here. 91.
That is not that much of a difference. He is right under him.
Ian, right under him, really?
They are 1-1.
Right where?
They are 1-1. Hodgepodge is a lower APF. Ian has 2 more kills than him, what I just said.
JD, you're arguing that he's under him. You just said he's under him.
He has an extra win with an extra season. Ian has 100 more damage done that season and 2 more kills, a higher APF, and he got the All-Star above him. And that's what you're arguing is more important than his season, an extra season with a win. That's what you're arguing. The 2 kills and 100 more damage is more impressive than an extra season with another win. How is that more impressive?
Are we knocking Ian for not being around season 1? Is that what we're doing?
You have to. You're not knocking him, but you have to give another person praise if they were in another season and they had another win. You can't be like, oh, Ian probably would have won another game. We're not doing any other player. If they didn't play that season, they're gonna be lower because they have less games played.
I disagree. I think Ian has performed at a higher level, and even though it's been shorter, I think he's actually done things that Hodgepodge hasn't been able to do. He's been nominated for 4 awards. Hodgepodge has been nominated for like 1 or 2. You know, these are just different qualities of players.
I just think the consistency matter. I think you're overlooking the extra win and the overall just looking at the stats. It's practically the same from last season. It was literally basically the same. They played. It was 2 extra kills and 100 damage. I just looked at the stats.
Just under, huh? You would say just under.
Just under.
So he's just under him.
But he has a whole other season. We're not talking about season 3. He has a whole other season with a win.
But he also then you're ignoring awards. But then you're ignoring the playoff runs.
Ian didn't win a playoff game.
No, but he went.
He
to the
lost
playoffs.
to me. He lost.
To the playoffs. He led his team to the playoffs. Python didn't, or Hodgepodge didn't.
It was the same production. He won game. That's the same Hodgepodge did. Hodgepodge. You switch Ian and Hodgepodge that year. They both would have got their team to the playoffs because they both got a win.
No, I don't think so. I don't think we would have played Hodgepodge in playoff game 1 or 5.
He didn't win either of those games. You could have played any. You could have played Dre the Legend, who would have been the same production as Ian.
Oh, really?
They both didn't win.
No, listen. He took you down to the wire. If you're saying, oh, he was just under, then you know what? You're right. Hodgepodge might as well, win an award, and then we might as well win the Legacy Cup because we were just under the Legacy Cup, right? What are we talking about? Hodgepodge, the facts are the facts. Hodgepodge does not have an all-star. We can't act like that's not a thing.
He does have an all-star.
He only has 1 in 3 years. How is that the model of consistency we're looking for?
He missed the mark
Are
by
we looking for
a minimum mark.
So we should have won the championship. Well then,
No,
Ian,
but a championship is different. All-star is based off your ranking, 90 and above. He was an 89. He's missing it by 1. That is statistically about a killer. Like when you're just looking at just the stats, it was a 91 versus 89.
And if we would have killed a guy in the finals, if we would have just killed Darth Vader, we would have won the finals. Kills are hard to get, JD. They're not easy.
I just think I'm not disagreeing that is better than the other one, but then there's a whole extra season with a win where he was 89 again.
Let us know in the comments section what you think.
280.
Let us know what you think.
289 seasons versus 191 season. The 289 seasons are more impressive than the 191 overall season. I don't know how you're disagreeing with that.
No, I'm saying that having 2 90-plus seasons is more impressive than 1 90-plus season in 3 years. That's more impressive. That's more impressive. You disagree?
I disagree.
All right. Let's try to find a compromise here. Where are you willing to put Hodgepodge? Because I actually do, and now I'm actually going to say his name, have him at 15.
At 15? So you
I have him at 15. I have Piano Man, Python, Ian, Hodgepodge.
I don't think Python's above him.
He's already has the most 2-win seasons in history. You're underrating Python.
No, he's coming up. I think there's another guy still above him. I have another guy who's still above him.
You have another guy above him?
Yes.
You're not going to put Jeff, are you?
No. You're just completely disregarding a guy. Fine. Well, I'll just say it right now, and then we can hash it out.
Who?
I have the only other guy to beat Python, Max Power. What are we talking about?
Really?
Python has only lost ever to one other guy, 2 Max. Beat him in the game. Same season, they both have 2 wins. I don't know how
Max doesn't have an award, and Python does.
He was nominated. It was rookie. He was nominated just for that same year.
You don't think Rookie of the Year matters?
I think it's less. When you're arguing against they've both played 2 seasons. He's arguing against someone who couldn't win that award.
Well, yeah, but he could have won other awards.
But season to season.
Max. Okay, first of all, Max had a bad season 2, so he doesn't have consistency. Right? There's an argument there, and I understand it's a little less because Python's just a rookie. But the one season that Max actually stepped up to the plate was the only year Python's been in the league, and Python was still rated higher than him. How could he be lower in the career talks?
He beat him.
But he has an award. We're talking about legacy.
He beat him, though.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we could do that. Can we do that? Can we just do that? All right, I'm going to bump up Ian to 3rd. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. I don't know. I don't think we can do that. I don't think we can do that. There's no way. There's no argument that other than Max beat him, does that make up for Max's bad season and lack of awards?
I think that's
it's legacy talks. Python has won awards and Max hasn't. He's an award winner.
Fine. Then we go to your other argument. Python didn't get his team to the playoffs. Max did get his team to the playoffs. There's your argument you're making earlier.
That's a fair point. That's actually a fair point. It's a fair point.
Python didn't make the playoffs. Max did. Max beat him.
That's
and in
true.
we're comparing those seasons. Max, I think, beats them there.
That's fair. Yeah, but that's fair. I don't think that balances out for the award, though.
For the award, and that's fair. I think the award is the different, but Max was also nominated for
2.
Yeah.
He was nominated for more awards than Python.
I think it's extreme because it's also my place, my vice captain. But I think it's a valid argument.
Oh man, Max fell in my list. I actually feel bad.
I don't even know how that's.
Max fell in my list pretty far, actually.
I don't even understand how that. I'm looking at the rest of the guys.
Consistency hurts. The lack of consistency hurts.
We were just talking about how consistency didn't. You just had Piano Man, an awful first season, and then a great season 2. You ranked him above the guy with consistency.
But then he won an award. Max hasn't won an award. He's a 98 overall player. Piano Man is the outlier. He's a 98 overall.
I'm just saying that was the argument making earlier. Piano Man is above. I'm not.
It's not the same argument.
Okay, all right. What do we need? Oh, okay. Our top 11 is the same, right?
Yeah, top 11.
Or we've snatched out, and then 12.
Yep.
Is
12 for me is Piano Man. 12 for you is Hodgepodge.
I'm fine with putting him with the award, and
I think that's fair. I think that's fair. 13. I do think Python is better all time than Hodgepodge.
I don't.
He's already had more 2-win seasons than him.
I just think he's played one. I think it's hard. He's played one season. Hodgepodge played 3-1 in every single one of them.
What about Indiana Jones? Where does he play into all of this?
I had Indiana Jones right under Hodgepodge.
Right under Hodgepodge. Okay. You gave me Piano Man. I'll give you Hodgepodge at 13, then Ian, then Python.
Yeah, that's how I would have it.
Where did you have Piano Man initially?
I initially had Piano Man under. I had him under Indiana Jones and Hodgepodge, but I agree that his season, that high level of a season, I think goes above them.
For one moment, before I put Indiana Jones below Hodgepodge,
okay,
just look at the all-time sheet.
Okay,
let's go line for line. Hodgepodge has 2 awards finalists. Ian has 4. Hodgepodge has 1 All-Star. Ian has 2. Hodgepodge has 3 wins. Ian has 2. Ian has gone to the playoffs, played in the playoffs, has more kills even though he's been in the league less years, and has 1,300 more damage even though he's been in less time. We don't think that Ian is above Hodgepodge. Ian played in a game 5. I think that alone
didn't it?
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm okay with. I personally think that the cross the 3 seasons is very impressive. I said earlier with only 3 other players doing it. I think it's been discarded, but I'm not disagreeing that Indiana Jones had a higher season 2. His season 2 is better than any of Hodgepodge's seasons.
Yeah.
I'm okay with putting him above Hodgepodge. Like that one's I think is.
Well, then here's what we'll do. We'll do 13 there. We'll do 14 for Hodgepodge, and we'll debate about Python. I'll give you that. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. He won an award. I feel like that's pretty high. I don't know. So your number 15 then was Max Power?
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow. So my number 15 was Hodgepodge.
Okay.
We've moved him up to 14 because Python was like what, my number 13 initially?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna rip off the Band-Aid. I have Max Power at 20.
Who do you have above it?
JD, it's the truth. It's the truth. I'm sorry. I know it hurts. It's okay. Listen. You're gonna kill me.
Who do you have above? Are there 5 more players?
First of all, I have the man with more All-Stars than him. Jeff.
Which is what? We were just talking about how the
Jeff has 2 All-Stars. Max doesn't have any. All right, listen, Jeff. I also have Straw. I think that's fair.
I can see where I have like Straw is coming right after. I can see that, but like
I've got Straw.
who are the other three?
I have Caden. They're both in a very similar boat. Max had one good year. He had some stinky years. Caden had one good year. He had stinky years. The difference is Caden has the chip and he has an award. Max doesn't. I think that's fair.
Okay.
And my final person I have above him is Timothy Wright. He had some stinky years too. Max had 2 wins this year. Guess who else had 2 wins? Timothy Wright.
So then where does Tim get the nod?
Because he has a chip. He's a championship. You didn't consider the championship? That just doesn't matter? I'm not going to lie. Our championship, this is a spoil for later in the episode. The championship nod promoted Colin Fowler from like 66 all the way up to 51. And Zach from 64 all the way up to 49. It has to give Tim the nod over Max. If you look at the paper, JD, numbers don't lie. Tim and Max have had like the same season. The only difference is that Tim's team won the championship.
I don't think they had the same season though.
They did.
I think
they had 2 wins. They had 2 award nominees, 1 All-Star.
No, they both had 2 wins. One of Tim's was a tie. One of Max was an infinite KD ratio game. Then their second game, he beat Python, who had him higher than him, who has never lost a game other than Max.
It's true. That's true.
I think their games were completely different. I understand the Legacy Cup, but I think Max's season was far better than Tim's season.
That's fair. I wouldn't say far better. I think you're moving that a little farther. I think yes, those wins were more impressive, but also at the end of the day, how much can that move the needle before it becomes like, okay, a win is a win, right? I don't think it can move it. I think
at least puts him above Tim Wright.
I think it would if Tim didn't have the Legacy Cup. He won the chip, man. He won it.
Yeah, but we were just talking about Gideon. You were just saying he didn't give them any wins in the playoff game. Tim didn't give him any playoff wins.
That's true, but the championship still helps Gideon. I wasn't saying that championships don't matter. I was just saying it doesn't affect it as much as someone who does win playoff games. The difference here is that Max hasn't won a playoff game. There is no argument like that. It's not like Max has, but Tim hasn't. They're the same in that category. Neither of them have won a playoff game. But Tim's team has won the championship. I mean, that just makes it hard. How do we put him above him?
Yeah, I understand that. I can see that the cup. Okay, what about Jeff?
Okay,
we were just talking about.
Listen, Jeff has had 2 All-Star seasons. That's pretty good. That's the thing with Hodgepodge. He only had 1 All-Star season. Jeff has had more All-Stars than Hodgepodge has.
Yeah, but we were just talking about Hodgepodge won 3 games in 3 seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff hasn't even done that. Then you were arguing Python's bun because he had 2 wins in that season. Mm-hmm. Max also did that.
Yes.
And got his team to the playoffs.
Yes. The difference is Python has an award. That's the difference. That's the difference for me. He won an award. He's an award-winning player. He was a high overall rated season. I mean, it was hard to win awards this year. We talked about that.
Yeah.
Winning even Rookie of the Year is impressive. He was recognized for the award. Max wasn't recognized for an award. I think that affects his legacy more. I think Python's award puts him into that special category. I also think Straw needs to be somewhere up here because not only does he have an award, not only does he have a Legacy Cup, but he has a win in the playoffs and an all-time win, obviously. So he has a very full resume.
Uh-huh.
This is actually another player that has a completely full resume. Now, the issue with that is he's only won 1 game and he's had 6 tries.
Uh-huh.
So but I think Straw does go above some of these guys. I think Straw should probably. If I had it my way, I would put Straw at 15.
At 15, so right under.
Right under Hodgepodge.
Okay. I have Max and Python above him.
Because they have an extra win.
Yeah, I have a Max, Python, Straw.
You have Max, Python, Straw.
And I understand the Python has an award. I can see that. I think they both like, and I know you can't disregard Max's his first season, but then you go to a second season. It's hard when you go ahead like our better legacy. They go face each other. This guy beats this guy. Okay, who was the better legacy? The guy who lost to the guy who beat the guy, and they own like that's those are their legacies. Those games right there. That's their legacy that they're hinging on.
Let's think about legacy for a second. In 100 years, are we going to look back at this season and are we going to think like, oh, Python had better, award nominees and he had better glory, but Max actually beat Python one of the games? Or are we going to think, yep, Python, he didn't lead his team to the playoffs, but man, he won that award. And he was one of the only players to win Rookie of the Year. Only 100 players have done that. I don't know. I don't think we're going to look back in years and be like, oh, but Max did beat Python one of those times. Like, I don't think that's a non-argument, but I think, like, as things progress, having an award, having a 1 in that award column is going to mean more in the long term than beating somebody head-to-head.
No, I understand that. I think I can agree with. I can see how Python goes above. I don't see Jeff above Max. I just don't see that
Jeff.
one.
That can be the agreement.
Okay,
I'll take
agree on that.
I'll take Jeff.
And this is no hate on Jeff. I just don't. Jeff, I have Jeff right under this. I just can't get
Jeff,
one.
if more of these were going my way, listen, I'd have you at 17, by the way. But just know it's JD's fault. It's not my fault. Okay. Who are we putting next? Is it Straw or is it Straw, Python, Max?
So
is what you want to do?
I had Max, Python, Straw, but I agreed to put Python above.
Okay.
So then I think Python's next.
Okay. Python at 15. I think that's fair.
I
initially had him, by the way, at 13. So I think that's good.
Okay.
And then you want to put Max. I think so. I think there's an argument between Max and Straw.
I think there's an argument.
And then I also think there's an argument between Max and Tim.
Yeah. So I think Straw. I think it's different. Straw has the playoff win and Legacy Cup. I think Straw. What is she's 1-6 now? 1-7.
Straw is 1-5.
1-5. Okay, that's not as bad.
Actually, I think he's 1-6 because he did play a playoff game. Wait, did he play? No, he played one. Played one. He's 1-6. Yeah. He is 1-6. The argument is he's one of 6 players now to check every box. Legacy Cup, award,
win.
All-Star, win, playoff win.
Yeah.
He checks every box. And I understand Max and Python and those guys, they've got some good stuff going for them. But, there's a lot of boxes that Max hasn't checked. He hasn't had an award. He hasn't had a Legacy Cup. He hasn't had a playoff win. Python hasn't won a cup, hasn't had a playoff win. If we're going based off of checking boxes, which I think to some degree we have to, I think Straw checks all of them. Python is missing 2 and Max is missing 3. I think that's the fact.
Yeah, I think I agree with. I think Straw is above Max. I think I agree with that. I think the Tim one's a little closer. I know he has a Legacy Cup.
Tim and him, I think, are neck and neck. It's just the cup.
I think it's the cup. I just think Max's season is just more impressive, and that's just where you. I just think, like, Tim didn't get the playoff line. I know he has a Legacy Cup. And we talked about earlier, you win the games. It's not like it's not mattering, but I think it matters less for like it means more for Straw and for Enigma. It means less for Caden and Tim.
Yeah. But I still think it's a good tiebreaker.
I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say. They both had the 2 wins. I think that's fair. I'm okay to concede that. I think the Legacy Cup is the tiebreaker.
I could go your direction if we think that Tim's terrible season 2 and not good season 1, like, you could argue Max has been bad for less seasons.
I wouldn't even make that argument, because I mean they both were up for most improved. I think they have a very similar career. I think that I think Max's performance has been more impressive, but I do think I get the Legacy Cup. And I think when we're talking about awards and that stuff, I think it should be the tiebreaker. So I'm okay with that.
So we got Tim at 17, Max at 18. So just to recap, we go Johnny 11, Piano Man 12, Indiana Jones 13, Hodgepodge 14, Python 15, Straw 16, Timothy Wright 17, Max Power 18, and Jeff 19. Oh, wait a minute. We've been ignoring somebody that I actually think should be higher than Timothy Wright. We've been ignoring Caden. Caden, I think, is really compelling because he has an award, he has a cup, and he has 1 win, but he only has that 1 win. He's similar to Tim Wright and Max in the sense that he had 1 really good season. But he does check the box of having an award and stuff like that neither of them do.
What is okay?
What's his all-time record?
What is Caden's award?
MIP.
Season 1?
Yeah.
Did he win a game?
Are the record books really going to remember that?
I think right now we do. I do at the moment.
Are you trying to disparage Caden's legacy right now, JD?
I'm sorry. I'm being honest here. Like, Caden still only has 1 win, and it wasn't even a playoff win.
It's true. That's true, but he did win an award. Are you going to go to his house and take it away from him? Like,
I'm not saying he didn't deserve it. I'm just saying that I think we gotta look at the stats at that season 1 to determine how well that season was.
I mean, yeah.
Like I'm saying, if we're just comparing, I know it's an award, but for comparing seasons,
you know what? I'll give that to you. I'll put Caden at 19, and I think Jeff at 20 is fair.
Okay.
And our top 20 is now the same. Our top 20, not in the sense that we have all the things in the same places.
Yeah, but we have
your top 20 are the same people as my top 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested to hear who your 21 was. Again, originally my 20 was Max Power. So
okay, we put him 2 above.
Yeah. So, JD, who is your number 21 spot?
At 21, I have Gus the Guy.
Oh, okay.
I have Gus the Guy.
Okay, that's slightly higher than I put myself, but I appreciate that. All right,
yeah,
why?
I think one and done. It's a one and done season. Led one of the most impressive teams. I know it wasn't your stats, but the most impressive teams. Won a game, and the losses were also some of the more impressive losses we've seen, just stat wise. An all-star, I believe. I'm just going off the top of my head. I'm assuming you were an all-star. Yeah. Took the team to the playoffs. I think it's a unique one and done season, and I think it's going to be remembered. And I think it deserves to be above some of these other guys who we're starting now to get to 1 win guys. And I think coming in 1 done captain, bringing team to the playoffs and winning a game, I think should be recognized.
I agree with you, and I'm going to change myself to 21. Not just because it's me, but because that actually fits a lot with the arguments we've already made.
Mm-hmm.
I had this guy at 21. I think I will concede he's probably 22 now.
Yeah, I have him at 22.
Ryan Joggers.
Yeah, Ryan Joggers.
Yeah, Ryan Joggers. He has the win. He has an award, and I was like, you know what? Maybe he can, sneak in ahead of me. But you're right. He does have the, I do have the consistency over him and the playoff stuff. Ryan is a great player. 22 all time. I think that award really separates him from some of the other one-win players.
Mm-hmm.
And, fun fact, season 1, he did appear in a game 4, which was where it ended. So
that is true.
Pretty cool playoff appearance. But
who do you have as your 23?
My 23, I have Papa Bear. And
okay,
I really think it's because he is kind of the model of consistency.
Uh-huh.
1 win, 1 All-Star, 1 finalist. I gave a nod to a lot of the rookies that we've seen have a 1-win season. We haven't really seen not a 1-win season from them. So to me, that's more impressive than, say, a guy like Jolie Poley, who won a game last year, and did some stuff, and then didn't. Right.
Yeah.
So I simply had Papa Bear 23, Meow Meow 24, Baby Bucky 25. That's kind of where I put the rookies. They're in a very similar spot. I think out of all of those 3, it goes in order of how impressed I was. I was impressed with Papa Bear, Meow Meow, Baby Bucky. Not that, Charlie, you did a great job. It's not that I wasn't impressed. Congratulations. You're like number 25 all time on my list.
Yeah.
Great job. But you know what I mean? I think that was kind of the order for me. That was kind of the strategy I took.
Mm-hmm.
And I got some people below that. But do you agree with that model, or who did you have at 20?
No, I agree with that. I had those same guys in that same order.
Really?
With those rookies. I did, yeah.
Okay.
I had the rookies grouped up. But after those 3, his name's already there. He has 2 wins, which is more than those guys above, but with their situation, I have Joel at the next spot.
Okay. I don't hate that because I had Joel at 27. You're saying you had it at 26.
Yeah, 26. Who did you have above him?
The only person I had above of him was D. Tercios. The only reason I had
Legacy Cup.
He has the Legacy Cup. He also has an All-Star, which despite Joel having a 2-win season, you could go back and be like, oh, the algorithm's changed. He should have been an All-Star, but he technically wasn't. And I think that kind of shows the level of impressiveness that his 2 wins had. Despite, only playing really 1 season, he played 8 games. So winning 2 of those 8 games in 1 season, it's just not the most impressive thing in the world. And I think that's why he wasn't an All-Star. So
yeah,
having 2 wins is pretty good. And I think Joel deserves to be 27, but I wouldn't put him above the Cup having All-Star decorated D. Tercios.
Yeah, I didn't remember Joel didn't have an All-Star or played 8 games. I can see that.
Yeah. I mean, D. Tercios is also because he's been around the block, he's played 5, and he's also played in a playoff game.
1 and 4
Joel's
playoff
played
win.
In 2. Yeah. 1 and 4, not a playoff win. Not a playoff win.
Yeah.
A playoff appearance. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think D. Tercios at 26 and Joel at 27 is fine if you agree.
Yeah. No, I'm good with that.
Who's
I like
28?
that. 28 on my list. Let me go real quick. I have Jolie Poley.
I do too.
I have Jolie Poley. He, the next couple guys we have here all have the 1 win. I think Jolie Poley's that season is more impressive. And his later season not as much as a drop off as some of these other guys.
Yeah. No, I would agree. He had not the most ideal season 3, but he was in spots where he could have gotten it done. And he's more consistent than who I have at 29, which is the man himself, Cal Bruss. Cal Bruss had an incredible season 2. He was an award finalist for, I think it was actually the Hodgepodge Award. but still, a reward finalist nonetheless. He had an all-star, he had a win, and the only difference between him and Jolie Poley is Jolie Poley's had one down year. Calbras has kind of had two. They've both made playoff appearances, and they're both people that we are kind of predicting are going to be on the up and up. But for now, I think he sits right below him at 29. Congratulations, Calbras. Do you agree with that, at least?
I agree with that, which leaves us with one more guy.
The bottom of our lists were almost identical. It was really the middle there.
It was that middle pack. It was that middle, what, 13 to 20, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. That really got some arguments there. That's fire. So yeah, do you want to say number 30?
Yeah, with 30, number 30 on our list, we have Jacob Dieter himself. Jacob Dieter, what a guy's played on the Jets, played on the Beavers, played on the Llamas. Has the one win, but his other two seasons has been a slump actually since season 1, which is a little bit different than Kyle. Kyle got in season 2, and it was both very similar seasons, which I think is just right above him.
Yeah, they both have an all-star. They both have a win. Kyle was nominated for an award. Jacob wasn't. That's kind of part of the conversation, and really they're really at the same spot. And, now that they're on the Llamas team together, I think they could make the rise together. But collaborating on that list, JD, we came in with 2 separate lists and we exited as one. And some of these guys have fallen and risen a little bit for me. I think the guy who fell maybe the most after our squabble for me was probably Jeff.
You had him at...
I had him at 17, I guess. He went to 20.
I feel like it makes sense to have all these guys above him, though.
I think it does. I think I was really honoring the 2 All-Stars, because if you really look at it, only 10 players can say they have at least 2 All-Stars.
It's true. No, it is
one of those guys.
Is a consistent guy.
He was. And I think he will be in the future. And you know what? 20 all-time ain't bad. At this stage in Board Wars, it is so impressive to even get in the top 30. Like, you have to have a win. You have to have some kind of, like, award thing. Like, there are people who have wins that aren't in our top 30. Like, that's insane and awesome. So we're going to go to the next segment, and we're going to show you who is outside of our top 30, ranking as we have kind of predetermined together outside of the pod, who ranking 31 through 69 players of all time is.
All right, Gus, we finished our first 30. Number 1, all the way down to 30. We got, now we got from 31 all the way down to 69. Quite a few more players left. But I think a lot of these maybe a little bit less debatable. I think we were the previous segment. There was some close guys. I mean, they have so many awards. There's so much to talk about that they do have. I think as you get farther down, it's more easier to tell because people are going to have less accolades. And it's like, okay, he has this accolade, this guy doesn't. And it makes it a little more obvious. So looking at like the players next, we had Jacob Dieter was at a number 30 spot. I think at the next spot, which we have, is Bucky. And I think that makes sense. He has a win. He was an award finalist. And these next guys on the list really don't have that. He had a great season. 10 kills, 1,300 damage. It's his rookie season. Well, technically, it wasn't his rookie season.
Technically not, but it was.
How do we count? Like, it was his rookie playing season.
Well, he didn't count as a rookie. He wasn't eligible for awards. Like, for the Rookie of the Year award, he wasn't eligible.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So it's that was for the Hodgepodge Award.
Yeah, he was up for the Hodgepodge.
Oh, see, I assumed he was a Rookie of the Year nomination
because he
had a great season.
Nah, people just like Bucky. People just like him.
He is awesome. He's an awesome guy.
Yeah, and JD, I think I should say this before we get too far into this. Like, this is our list that we agreed upon, 31 through 69. You don't have to agree with us. You probably should, because this becomes more of a number game once you get down to it than anything. But this is just kind of what the media thinks, and it's funny because actual sport leagues Board Wars is an actual sport league. I just decided right
100%.
now. I'm going to rescind that.
100%.
Other sport leagues, they have like a media, and like I'll watch the media like vote for awards, and like these are the NFL Top 100. Dude, I hate watching the NFL Top 100 because they're so bad.
Always wrong.
They're so bad.
They're always wrong.
But it's so legit because it's voted on by the players. I just think like maybe the voting process weights certain things to, I don't know. Like
I think we're better at it, Gus.
I agree.
We're way better
I agree. I think the Board Wars media surpasses Sports Center, ESPN. Get them all out of here.
We're not biased. We're not biased.
No, we're not.
Straight facts.
Yeah, and you can't buy us
here in the pod.
You can't buy us. My PayPal's in the description. No, you can't buy us. You can't buy us. So 31, I agree, is Bucky. I think that makes the most sense. Like you were saying, even though it's not really a rookie year for award reasons, it was his only real year that he played. Maybe he gets a small dash for year one. Not a big one, though.
Yeah.
Not a big one.
I agree.
Number 32 spot is the actual rookie who stepped up in a huge way. He won a game just like Bucky did, but he only played one game. I mean, man, crazy.
True. Legendary, though.
Buizquiz, number 32. I mean, he's like a Jacob Hicks archetype so far. Shows up for one game, crushes it, does well. And Jacob Hicks, we have yet to see play another game. Hopefully, Buiz can separate himself from Jacob Hicks in that way. Hopefully both these guys we'll see in season 4. But
I hope so.
But I mean, Buizquiz, one fantastic game where he put up 13 kills in one game, 1,000 damage in one game. I mean, if he just even played another game, he doesn't have to win. He could get 4th. If he just played one more game, he would be eligible for awards. He would actually be talked about as like but he's on the cusp of that. Very impressive so far, but we need to see more out of him.
Yep. 100%. And then right below him, I don't know if you said, but we have Jacob Hicks. I think both you said something. Both 1-0, but I think the difference is Jacob Hicks, he won decent stats. He did beat Gus the Guy, which is pretty impressive. Not many people have done that. But B-Squeeze stats just clears Jacob Hicks. And that's the only we have one game to go off of, so it's pretty easily that B-Squeeze is above him.
Oh, 100%, JD. I think Buizquiz, his kills, what is that, like a top 5 most kills in a game? I just looked it up. So. It's tied for 3rd, actually.
Tied for 3rd.
Tied for 3rd 13. With me.
I'm there you go. Yeah, I've never had 13. 13, that's a hard thing to do. That's difficult.
Really hard thing to do.
There's only 15 other cards on the board at the start of the game.
So obviously, like you were saying, Jacob Hicks is really notable just because he took me down. I think he also beat Caleb Ward in that game. He beat some insane comp.
It was an end apocalypse game. It was a great win by him. I remember it.
Yeah.
Llama Llama.
Yeah, there was some crazy math going on there. He contributed to an insane Mama Llama season, Yeah, so he's great, and we just need to see more out of him. Number 34 is a guy who we have seen things out of. He's had highs in his careers. He's had lows. 7th Sense. Season 1, he was the first player to ever win a game in Board Wars history. That is a great trivia fact. And he has yet to win a game since then, but he has won a Legacy Cup because, he's on the Raptors this season. Now, aside from those pretty statistics, he was also an award finalist, I think, for Hodgepodge Player of the Year. That's pretty cool. So he has a win, he has the cup, he has the award finalist, but the last 2 years, the years since season 1 he was like an 88, I think. Season 2 and 3, both years he was sub 70. So that is not good. He has been one of the worst, if not the worst rated players season 2 and season 3. And we're hoping he gets back on the horse. We believe he can. And he is actually the lowest rated player we have that has won a game. But I would love to see him win a couple more just because, he's such a legendary figure. The first ever game. It would be cool to see him get another win under his belt.
Oh yeah, no, he's still got. I think he's got to get the rust off. Season 1, he was one of the best players and got the win. Last 2 seasons though, back to back below 70. I don't think we've seen many players do that.
True.
So that I think that's why he's down there. But that's why he still has the win, so he's gonna be above all these next 30 players we have left on this list.
Yep. I mean, regardless on how much your legacy is, or even like awards or cups, if you don't have a win, you're never going to be higher in the legacy leaderboard than a guy who has.
Yeah.
Even though 7th has been throwing the last couple of years, he definitely deserves spot number 34.
100%. 100%. Well, that is the last person with wins. So now the rest of the people are now winless players at this point in their career. Hopefully it change.
On the pod, don't we call them winless willies?
Winless Willies?
Don't we call them that? Or did I
don't
call
remember
them
that, but I like that. I like that, Gus.
All right.
I don't think I've ever said that. Maybe you say that.
Well, you just repeated it back to me, so hey.
The winless Willies are next. And first off we've discussed this on the pod before. The best winless player, in our opinion, is Akiodub. His stats are very impressive, though he's never won. He's gotten to so many end games with very good players. Just off that admit, I know Slushy in the playoffs, with myself at the last game of the regular season. Enigma, the MVP. Just those players alone, those are top. Those three are top 5. Yeah, insane career. Unfortunately, he's not able to get it done, but it's the best resume out there without a win.
It is. I mean, he went toe-to-toe with Slushy in an end game. In a game that, would have set the Cuties up in a great spot, right? Just to take home the chip. So, I mean, Akiodub, he hasn't gotten it done, but he lost in one of the grittiest end games of all time to Slushy, and then one of the most gritty end games of all time to you, JD. And then, like I don't know. There's like a bit where every single time he gets somehow closer to winning. And he's like probably the only player who doesn't have a win who I would be like, yeah, he pretty much does. Which is just not a thing I would normally say. It's just he's gotten so close so often. I don't know. A lot of respect to Akiodub. 35, I think, is a great spot for him, and he was an award finalist this year. The Hodgepodge Award. Very, very loved guy. So, pretty cool. At 36, right below him, we have his cousin, vice captain of the
himself.
Jelly Jets. I don't know if we've talked about this on the pod yet, but new captain, of the Wealthy Waffles, the one and only Mr. Java. Mr. Java is very notorious. He has an award, that vice captain of the year that he just won this previous season. He has 2 award finalists, which, was, I think, vice captain and Hodgepodge, but still they count for something. And, he's also gotten pretty close to wins. He's probably the player that, in my head, I'm most surprised he hasn't won yet. And he's 0-6, so it's not even like he's only played a few games. He's had a lot of tries. He just hasn't gotten it home yet, but, he's got those awards. He's got the legacy, very notorious in the league, and let's see if he'll get that win soon.
Oh, yeah, 100. Yeah, I think people going into the league, I think he's thought of, won the vice captain of the year. He was very part of the Jelly Jets that year. But you expect him as a player with that involvement, with that caliber of teaching the game, that he would have a win. Unfortunately, he doesn't.
You would think.
You would think, but he doesn't. No. So hopefully, Mr. Job, if you're watching season 4, Wealthy Waffles.
We'll see how they do.
This is your year. This is your year, John.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on to the next player, and I think in a similar category to Mr. Java is Serial. He won the Hodgepodge Award. He was a finalist for vice captain. His games themselves haven't been that successful, but I think that the impact he's had throughout the league and the award, I think, slots him in that spot respectfully.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Yeah, being an award winner, I think this is the last award winner on this list. That was kind of the next thing that we looked at. Notability, notoriety, and award winningness, and this is the last award winner on this list. Up next behind him is a player who isn't an award winner, obviously, but he has stepped up in huge ways for his team, and he also got very close to getting a victory. And also kind of at this point, we look at APF a lot. Like, what situations has this player been put in? And this one is Parker Klein, the one and only 38. Off the Astro Bears, good player, got really close to winning.
I mean, he's got second, I think, 3 times. His career APF is a 2. So
I think you're right.
right there, something AccuDub just doesn't get the job done. And similar to him, right under him at 39, is Cheddar Bob, who also similar. This was rookie season. Doesn't have a win, but got really close to winning. He has a playoff game in game 3. He almost beat Dr. Luke in the regular season, came down to Apocalypse. So great showing, just wasn't able to pull it in to get the win.
Not quite. And after the couple Astro Bears, we got a couple Ruby Raptors coming up.
Yeah.
Pretty
In a
insane.
row.
At number 40 is going to be Noah LeGrand. Now, obviously, he has that Legacy Cup. He got very close to having a win earlier this past season. And statistically, of the guys, that he's ahead of, he just outshines them. He had a lot of kills this season in the one game he played.
Mm-hmm.
One Legacy Cup to his name as he's a Raptor. So, great player who's been in the league for a long time, actually, since season 1. Hasn't gotten a win yet, but he's a consistent guy who shows up, steps up to the plate, plays for his team, and we'll see how he goes going into season 4. Maybe he can get that first win. It's possible.
100%.
It's possible.
I believe.
Yeah, next.
The next guy in a similar boat, Legacy Cup award. Yeah, it does have award finalists. Is Disco DM3. He has also been in the league a while, but just hasn't been able to get the win. Has played in the playoffs, which is unique in this situation. But I think the Legacy Cup is where he's in this spot. And then similar right below is Preston Donahue, also on the Raptors, has the Legacy Cup award finalists. The stats are a little lower. He's played a couple games. I believe he joined season 2. Did he play this season?
He actually did not.
Okay. So played season 2, but was on the winning team.
You know what that means, though? That doesn't count.
What does that mean?
He doesn't count for the Legacy Cup because he didn't play a game. Oh, no.
Are you serious? Is that how that works? I didn't know that's...
That is how that works. That's actually huge. That affects things a lot.
That changes...
Well, I mean...
Oh, that changes David. Well...
Maybe not. You know what? For the sake... I'll make an argument. He deserves to stay even without the chip. Because...
Are we talking about David or Preston?
Disco.
Okay. Well,
I think he's got a shot. Preston. Oh, no. That would be bad. He would fall very far. Yeah, when JD and I were looking at this list, Preston Donahue, by the way, spoiler alert, he's at 42. But when we were making the list, we were like, oh, wow, like this guy, like how far can we push the chip into the championship into, like how high can we jack him up? And yeah, that thing is the only thing that is keeping him this high. He would fall probably to like, I don't know, the late 50s without the chip. So I don't know. Disco DM3 though, even though he doesn't have this chip now, he does have the award finalists, which season 1, I think, was the Hodgepodge Player of the Year.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so he's one of 2 players in history to receive an award nominee as a Chess Rules. Only him and Joel, and until they were disbarred and disbanded. And so that's something. Also, I want to point out the game that he played in the playoffs was insanity. He played against Drew, Caleb Ward, and Jeff in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't even get last. Jeff got last. That was the game with the great blitz,
yeah. What a play. What a play by the Llamas.
Yeah.
Smash ball and Ender Pearl.
So I don't know. Even without the championship, I think 41's okay for David. Congrats, David Demsko.
Yeah. I don't mind it. He's had a long career with many milestones throughout
He's an epic guy, so.
Yeah. But under him, though, is Preston Donahue, which I do think we may have to talk about here.
Preston Donahue. You actually don't think he's at 42 anymore?
Well, looking the guys under him have a bit better stats. And there's not much to go off other than that.
But they don't have a championship like Preston does.
But you say you didn't play a game.
Oh no, I was talking about David.
Oh, Preston played a game?
Yeah, Preston played a game.
Oh, I was asking about that earlier. Well, Preston, you deserve that Legacy Cup because you got the game. You deserve to be there.
Yeah. Congrats, Preston. Let's go. 42. Awesome.
All right. Well, moving on. 43. Purple Dragon, Ducky, 10 kills, 1,000 damage, 3 APF. Doesn't have the Legacy Cup though, so that's why he falls. Maybe a little better stats, but doesn't got that final notch, bringing home the dub.
Yeah.
So that's why he's right under them.
One of the biggest what ifs of all time, man. One of the biggest.
Yeah.
And he was in a really crucial game. Like, think about that. He lost to Johnny in that game that made you in the playoffs. Like, if Ducky just would have hunkered down and won, the Sallies would have made the playoffs. And then maybe they win it all. Maybe. I don't know.
Not happening. They're not beating season 1 cuties.
But that's the only thing that's really holding them back out of like the top franchises of all time power rankings. Is like
that's true.
They didn't make it season 1. That would have changed history a lot. Johnny wouldn't have gotten that win or the playoff wins. He would have gone into, instead of having 2 wins season
2
1,
less wins.
Yeah. And then he goes into season 2 and he bombs it. He has no confidence at all. Like he
would be like 0-6.
Yeah, it would have been crazy. So he needed that win for his career, and Ducky was a part of that game. And 10 kills, 1,000 damage. I think he was the first player to have double-digit kills and 1,000 damage in a game. I think
that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Which is crazy. Which is crazy.
That's insane, especially season 1. Season 1, like that's.
And he only played one game,
wild.
And then he retired. So it was like, like he's one of the biggest what ifs in history, which you don't necessarily want to be, but it's cool. It's cool that stat line kind of exists. So I think it makes a lot of sense that he is that high. Number 43. At number 44 is Groove Sloth. He's also played a single game. Nick Sipe, 7 kills, 800 damage, APF of 3. Yeah, he's some of these guys, unless they're like they have a crazy stat like Ducky does, like we're just gonna kind of be like, oh, good job, because so much of it is stats at this point. But who's next, JD?
After Groove Sloth at 45, we have Sigazale on the Purple Dragons. Rookie season 3. He had some good performances. Offensive player. I remember he blitzed max power on my team. Pretty fast. It was a great play. Wasn't able to take the dub. But great performance for a rookie season. So I think it's a good spot for him.
Yeah, Sigazale is pretty goated. Pretty awesome dragon. Played a couple games. Good stats. And, he's probably going to get a first win soon. I'm predicting it right here, right now. But below him is Pascalliwag, who did participate in a playoff game. And even though he doesn't have the statistical chops as some of these other guys, not only did he play in a playoff game, but he was an award finalist. Very beloved in the community as the Hodgepodge Award finalist. And, that's pretty great. He's pretty notable, which I think puts him above the people that are below him.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then below him, we have Duncans, who's slated at the Jets right now. 10 kills, 3.3 APF, 1,500 damage. I think right under award finalist makes sense. So what the Pascalliwag has just right above him.
Yeah.
I think it makes sense.
100%. Below him is Swamp Dave, 48 spot. Swamp Dave has played one game. Very impressive game that it was. It was Goober, Drew, and I think Sam Mokwa, which, is the kind of the odd man out there, but still pretty great game from Swamp Dave. And, he was very impressive. Honestly, he completes the trios of Sipes that we've mentioned. And I'm realizing now that, wow, none of the Sipes made the bottom 20. Congratulations, guys. Seriously.
Great job, guys.
That's pretty awesome.
Oh, they're gonna be powerhouses.
Yeah.
And I think the Jets, they get those Sipes in some practice games this offseason. They're gonna be coming in hot.
So much potential.
Well, under Swamp Dave, we have a Lacey Cup winner, Zach, from the Smoky Sallies. His stats themselves, he's played a couple games throughout his career. Hasn't gotten the win, not the bestest performances, but I think the Lacey Cup, being that team, he played a game that season. He deserves it. I think that's a perfect spot for Zach.
Yeah, he doesn't have any award stuff like some of the other people, on the list, but Yeah, no, he does have that Legacy Cup, which is impressive, and the stats are kind of lackluster, but, Zach is a growing player. He was the youngest player in the league for multiple years, back when he joined when he
Mm.
was so young. And, he
Oh yeah.
started playing at I think 11 years old. So, I mean, that is very impressive. Very few people can say that they trained from that age. And hey, you never know. Maybe he'll be like 17, 18 one day. And we're like, wow, Zach is kicking butt,
Oh, yeah. The future's bright for him. He has so many
Future
years left.
MVP, maybe. So, yeah, he's at 49 for now, but I'm sure he'll climb the list in the coming years.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yep.
Tribesman is number 50. He's pretty awesome. 6 kills, 1,200 damage. Very talented player that I think we were surprised couldn't get it done with a win this season. But, I mean, we're counting on him for next year. We feel pretty good about it. And that's a very nice number to have, even 50.
Even 50.
Congratulations
like
making the top 50, Tribesman.
You're great. And then under him, another Legacy Cup winner, Colin Fowler, who, guys, a little fun fact, we played each other in our debuts. If you don't know that game, I blitzed him
This
turn
is
one.
a very notable game, actually.
Fully backstabbed him. He when we could call guys, we called. He's like, hey, you want this is totally bad. This is like, I'm just like hurting myself, my own reputation here, but I feel like this has to be said for Colin Fowler's sake. His game one, like he calls me up, like, hey, like we're good, we're gonna team. I'm like, yeah, for sure. Hang up the phone. And I look at John Mark, I'm like, nah, I'm attacking him immediately. And John Mark, he agreed with me. He was like, that's a great idea. Let's go stab these cuties. So that's exactly what I did. I ruined Colin Fowler's first game. I'm sorry, Colin. Get back in the game. You'll have better success when you're not playing against me.
Well, he lost. Yeah, he lost in that game. I think it was to Caleb Ward. Or no. Who did you guys lose to?
That was Joel Otwell.
You lost to Joel, which, he's a 2-win player. His other game, he lost to Slushy. That's pretty brutal,
Yeah.
Pretty brutal. And it's funny because that sparked, he does have a Legacy Cup, by the way. Congrats.
Mm-hmm.
That sparked what is known as the modern Cutie Llamas rivalry was started because of Colin Fowler in season 1 and you. And it's like, oh my gosh, neither of those players that played in that game are even have even played a game for those teams this year.
It sounds like some people are holding on to some beef that's long gone.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like
some past trauma.
Sounds like it. And
I don't know who.
Some will argue it's never changed. Some will argue that the backstabbery still happens. But I don't know. It's just funny that it stemmed from the two, because season 1 you were considered like the bum on the llamas.
Yeah, that's
so
fair.
was he.
That's fair
for
to
the
say.
cuties. So it was like these two dominant teams, and you would think like maybe John Mark versus Caleb Ward would start the rivalry, but no, it was JD versus Colin Fowler. So funny.
That's awesome.
So funny. And Dakota Sheets is right under him. Now he played 2 games in season 1. 910 damage in those 2 games. Very impressive stuff. He was a part of a trade to the Cuties after he didn't play in season 2. He became a Cutie season 3. And, because of the buyback clause, he didn't play. He is now a Smoky Salamander yet again. So I hear rumors that he's going to come back season 4 stronger than ever, and I'm excited to see how that goes. But for now, he's 52 on this list.
Alrighty. And then under him, on the judge, it's Wonder Boy. Python's brother wasn't able to bring home wins like his brother, but had a decent season. He has a 3 APF, which is above some other players, lower in the list, which is why I think it's a good spot for him. He played 2 games, 5 kills, 26 damage. I think he has a lot of potential. Younger guy. He's gonna be in the league for a while, and I think he's gonna be a big part of the Jelly Jets this coming up season.
Dude, I really think so too. Wonder Boy's a great player, very good guy to be around. One of my favorites personally. And I think, he's right in good company there with number 54, Caleb Fletcher, another guy who's just, you love to be around him. He's played 1 game every season since season 1. Hasn't won any of those games yet, 3.3 APF, but hey, we believe in Caleb Fletcher. We've heard him in some trade rumors, actually, and we think he'll be able to get it done. We believe in him. So we'll see if the change of scenery helps,
I trust Caleb Fletcher. Next up, Black David. Similar, if you're just looking at the stats, similar stat line, 7 kills, same APF, just a little bit, damage is a little bit less. He joined season 2 on the Llamas, as well as him. I think little more practice, a little more knowledge of the game, and he'll be right up there with these other guys.
100%. And it's funny here how like he has almost an identical stat line. Other than that, what is that?
Yeah,
71 damage.
yeah. I think that's what's keeping Caleb Fletcher right above him right now.
So Black David, if you
Black
play
David-
another game,
Just hit someone like with one time with legendary, hit a
Yeah.
little silver.
hit someone
You'll
with
be
a
good.
Death Star, like you'll be fine.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Right below him is 56 Hero Smurvin. Hero Smurvin played 2 games season 1 for the chess rules, I think. I know he played for the chess rules. I think it was 2 games. It might have been 1. He did fine. He got second place in his 1 or 2 games that he played. So that's great.
That's impressive.
I don't know. I don't know. Very unnotable. He's a relic of the past, as a part of that old chess rules team. So
Yep.
that's him.
Yep. Next guy is Sam Mokwa, 57. Oh, he's only played 1 game, only has 1 kill, only 156 damage. Not very good stats at all. But he did get second, which I then credit to the reason the Ashbury's made the playoffs.
Yeah.
He was in a game with Drew and Goober and Swamp Dave, some hard competition. He was able to stick in there diplomacy wise, sit there to the end, get that second place, which is the only reason that the Astro Bears were able to make the playoffs at the end.
Well,
So
I think that's true, JD. If he didn't get second place and if he didn't place above either Drew or Goober in that game, you guys don't make the playoffs.
100%,
That's
exactly.
crazy.
I credit all to Sam Mokwa convincing
What an awesome
Goob to let
guy.
him live.
What an awesome player. I'm excited to see him play some more games.
100%. And then right above him is another Astro Bear player, my younger brother, Lil T, at the 58 spot. Again, third place, 250 damage, 2 kills, not good stats at all. My argument for him, he was playing Hodgepodge, Dr. Luke, and Caden. That's some hard competition to play your first game.
It is. That's
He
3
has
captains. Jeez.
3 captains. He has a bright future ahead of him. He's a younger guy. He was helping the locker room, but
Yeah.
what we've seen from him was that's why he's down there.
In Board Wars, we kind of tend to believe in the bloodline theory, of like, oh, are you a part of this bloodline? Oh, you're going to be good, And so I don't know. Maybe Lil T will rise the Turner bloodline in these legacy talks here.
I think so.
Pretty awesome
Give him a few more
stuff.
games.
Right below him is Tasty T, a player who was drafted season 1, didn't play season 1, didn't play season 2, and now finally made his debut in season 3. 220 damage, 2 kills, 3rd place finish. But his personality, man, he was fun to watch.
It was fun to play with him.
Yeah. Were you in that game?
I was not playing. Max was playing, but I was right beside, so I was listening to it. It was awesome.
Yeah, he's a great guy, and only 1 game. I'm sure he was very rusty from back when he played in season 0. I mean, he hadn't played the game in 7 years, I think, and so wow, I'm
Completely
excited
different.
to see how he evolves in that way. And
Yep.
60 is Burger Kimchi. I mean, Burger is one of the guys down here that has actually played multiple games, and maybe that's to his detriment because he only has a 3.3 APF. But he was a part of that 1 game where Thanos snapped and John Mark got super lucky, and all of Slush's guys died.
Oh my gosh!
His Piccolo, who was at like 700 health, died, and like that was one of the craziest luck games I've ever seen. So, I mean, if he was in a winning position, I don't know if he would have beaten Johnny and Slushy, even though he was favored, material wise in the end game.
Yeah,
But that's worthy of mentioning. So he's 60 right now, but we believe in Birdger, and we believe he's going to make a rise here pretty soon.
yeah. And then below him is Sam Deere at 61 on the Llamas. 3 APF, 200. He's played 2 games. He did place second to Dr. Luke, so I think that was notable. Obviously, he didn't take down the GOAT, but you don't expect that. But he placed second. And his other game he placed 4th. So he's a 3 APF. So, all right start to season, but the stats are just a little bit low to spot him any higher.
And he was playing those 2 games in the Beaver culture of like Drew
You're
not
right.
being
He
with
wasn't
him.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. I feel like if he plays for the Mama Llamas this year, there's going to be a rise. I mean, he has a lot of potential if the newly led by Kyle Mama Llamas can just pour into him in the right way. I think we could see him rise pretty far.
Mm-hmm.
Another guy I feel that way about is Goose in a Well. I think he's played like 3
yeah.
games and he only has 1 kill, which is unfortunate. But
Yeah.
Goose in the Well's a great guy, and the Cuties, if they just rally behind him, I think he could, get a really impressive win at some point here. I feel that way about all the Goosewell brothers, but unfortunately, Goose in the Well is 62 right now, but we'll see how that continues.
Yeah, definitely. And then below Goose and Well, we have, we were talking about bloodlines, think of Gideon, you got the Blankenships, and then his older brother's in the league, Tessie Turtleman, and unfortunately, at the moment now, he hasn't had as much success as his brother. He's hopped around a few teams. I know he's been on the Cuties. Now he's now on the Sallies. He's played in both in season 2 and 3. I think 1 game each. 2 kills, 5. As decent amount of damage, 578 damage.
That is a lot.
38 items also. So he knows how to get those items. That's impressive. 'Cause I think that's across 2 games, I believe. It's a lot of items. So impressive to him, but I think right under Goose and Well makes sense.
And right below him is Skeletevan, number 64 on this list. Now, very bad stats. Not a single kill, 19 damage, 1 game. The 1 game he played, I mean, in Salamander fashion, he got like no stats, but he got 2nd place. Pretty good. I like his name, Skeletevan. He was Mr. Irrelevant in the season 3 draft. That's pretty cool. And in his 1 game, he got 23 items. That is crazy. 23? Oh my gosh. So him and Tennessee Turtleman next to each other on this list, like some item gaining guys,
Yeah.
They love the craft. And right below them is a guy who has 0 items, Joe Schro. Yeah.
Astro Bear.
Joe Schro played 1 game, got 1 kill, 264 damage before he was decimated by Dr. Luke in the Storm play. The Storm play heard around the world. And, we got to get Joe Schro back in another game, man. That is a brutal 1 game to play.
I think that game scared him. I'm going to be honest. I think he saw Dr. Luke cross him and just wiped him. And I think he got a little, he's like, maybe this game isn't for me. But Joe Schro, you deserve to get another game. That was unfortunate. That won't happen again. We've changed the ability, Joe Schro. That it's not going to happen like that again to you. Don't worry.
Yeah. We'll put you in a game with, not the GOAT next time.
Yeah. We'll try to.
Well, right below him, JD, is D's 66 on this list, ranked 66. He played 1 game as an signed free agent season 1, back when that was the thing. You could sign free agents to play if you needed someone to step up for scheduling reasons season 1. They signed D's, my friend Aiden, and he was fine, I guess. 2 kills, 4th place. Congratulations, D's.
Well, all right. Well, at the 67th, he's not last. He's not last. Because he's at the 67th spot below him. My player Donzi 6. Looking at the stat line, 120 damage, 0 kill, 4th place, 3 items. It's pretty bad. That's pretty bad stats. But again, I'm gonna argue for my player. Get some context. This stat line right here. He's facing against Caleb Ward, Johnny, and Gideon. Again, that's some rough competition.
Hard comp.
Also, Caleb Ward decided to bum rush the rookie on the board.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That was his decision. I think he still end up. No, he lost the game. Caleb Ward lost games. Make Caleb don't bum rush a rookie next time. No, Gideon won that
he
game.
Lost to Gideon. That's right.
Yeah, maybe you should attack Gideon first, not the rookies. First time ever playing. He never even played practice game before. That was his first ever time seeing a Board Wars board before.
And that was one of the first ever Information Act games.
Yes, it was also
politics
the first.
Were so hard. Wow, that was a tough game to be thrown into.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So some context here. That was off. That was straight off the dome. He got bum rush like turn 3. There wasn't much he could do there. But that's third to last is a good spot.
And right below him, I thought Dre. Okay, so there's 2 guys left.
Yeah,
the 68 and 69 spot. I thought we had Dre the Legend at 68.
we ended up changing it. Now we
I
can
remember that.
we can discuss this again, but there was a lot going into it. It was pretty close. It was for different reasons.
Well, spoiler alert, the worst player of all time. We'll do it KOV style. We'll tell the top and then we'll circle back to the second. Dre the Legend. 1 game, no kills. The only player in history to play, to have 0 kills and 0 damage in their career. Granted, he only played 1 game. This guy's not on our roster anymore. And I want to point this out. He not only got 0 kills, 0 damage.
0.
4th place, no items.
Yeah.
This guy didn't do anything. And if you go back and you watch the game, like you can see him playing because he was playing sitting right here. It's like his aura still is somewhere in this room. And, sometimes I'll stub my toe and be like, I wonder if that's the Dre aura that's still in the room. You know what I mean? But like you can see him sitting here and playing and you can see the gears turning. But there was no, he walked and got blown up.
Johnny.
That's all that happened. And it was really funny. He accused Johnny of targeting him for a certain reason.
Really?
Yeah. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
I do. I was forgetting at the moment. I remember the reason now. What was it?
You want me to say on the podcast?
I don't know.
He accused him of attacking him because he was black.
Which was not true.
That's not true. It was a joke. It was a joke too. He wasn't actually accusing him of that. But yeah. That game was hilarious and ridiculous. And Dre just, that is a very spectacular, perfect goose egg. And you know what? Like a lot of these players, I'm like, that was an unfortunate game to play. Like, hop back in here. Honestly, Dre, I'm not like that about. Like, Dre, you're good. That's the career, man. Because here's the thing. If anybody plays a game and they do anything, I mean anything, they survive to 3rd place by chance. They get a item. They deal a damage to someone somehow. If you do anything, you're not last. And that is the gift that Dre the Legend has gifted on our community. The ability to play a game, even with no ideas or anything, and not be the worst. Because there is one person who is the worst. It's like the meme about the spectrum of autism. It's like that means there's someone in the world who is the most autistic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why I brought that up. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know why I brought that up. But it's just there's a spectrum, there's levels. This is kind of what we've been saying this episode. There's levels to how good you are in Board Wars. The top 10 or the top 5 players, the gap between 5 and 20 is so big. There is someone who is the gayest, or in this case, someone who is the worst, and it's Dre the Legend. Anyway, and this is the aura of Dre the Legend. Even talking about him, we're getting into some risque business.
Yeah, well, even think about we're thinking about honestly, you could argue the legacy he has created because of that game. Honestly, maybe he should be higher on the legacy board just for this. That is legacy. You will remember Dre the Legend forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to season 50 and Dre the Legend's stat line will still be there, and that will still be the bottom of the spectrum.
All right. At 68, JD, who is the man who was just barely better than Dre the Legend to the point where we had to talk about it?
At 68, who just barely beat Dre the Legend, another Jelly Jet, big surprise, El Nino. El Nino played 2 games. He has damage on the board. But I think the reason I think myself at first was arguing, but I changed my opinion, was his last and current game when the Jets were this close to making the playoffs, and unfortunately they weren't able to scrape together a third place or higher spot to get them there.
the last game of the season, the biggest game in Jelly Jet history, they threw in El Nino, who was the lowest rated player in the league. In the first game he played, he had a Dre the Legend game. No kills, no damage. I think he did have some items, though. So thankfully, like I was saying, he's higher than Dre the Legend. But they threw him in, a Dre the Legend-esque player, in their biggest game of all time, and the most he could muster in fighting to literally just not get last. That was all he needed to do, was to get third. He could only muster 14 damage. And the Jelly Jets to this day haven't made the playoffs, which is crazy. I still don't. I don't. That is a complete choke job.
Yeah, on the entire organization, honestly.
Yeah, true.
Not just El Nino.
True. So we'll see if Python can lead them to the promised land soon. But that was our list for the top 69 highest rated players of all time. Every player to play a professional game. And yeah, I mean, we got a lot of rookies. This is probably going to get to a top 100 next year, but which is crazy to think about. Like, you could not be like, you're not even a top 100 Board Wars player in the world. Oh, brutal. Like,
yikes.
So, Dre the Legend, watch out.
Yeah.
But thanks for watching this episode of the official Board Wars podcast, everybody. And these are our official rankings. And I bet every year we could sit on and do this when the season ends and all the awards come out. And, we can re-rank all the legacies and how they've changed. So be sure to tune in next week where we're going to be talking about off-season news and the draft prospects as they're falling and rising in our pre-draft rankings. We'll see you next week.